So I, female, 29, feel like I'm still processing what happened at my birthday dinner last night, and I honestly don't know if I was being a complete asshole or if I finally did the right thing. My mom showed up uninvited to my birthday celebration and turned the whole thing into this embarrassing nightmare scene. Am I the idiot for telling her to leave? Okay, so, background. I've always been like the responsible one in my family. I know how that sounds, but bear with me. Worked my ass off through college while my mom was constantly having these random emergencies that somehow always needed money for car repairs that turned into shopping trips or medical bills that included a bunch of stuff from Target. I mean, I love her, but she's just a lot. And lately, I've been trying to keep some distance because, honestly, every family gathering turns into me babysitting her while she gets louder and more dramatic. So yesterday was my 29th birthday, and I just wanted something chill, you know. I planned this nice dinner at Rossetti's. Just me and 4 close friends. Nothing fancy, just wanted to celebrate without any family stuff for once. I posted some photos on Instagram when we got there. Just normal stuff like birthday dinner with my people, with the restaurant entrance in the background. You know how you do. I wasn't thinking anything of it. Well, apparently my mom has notifications turned on for my posts, which, why? Because literally 20 minutes later, she walks into the restaurant, just shows up, says she was driving by and saw my car in the parking lot, which okay, Mom, sure. You just happened to be driving by this specific restaurant that's nowhere near your house on a Tuesday night. I should mention that my mom has this thing where she can't just blend in anywhere. She's got to be the center of attention, so she doesn't just sit down quietly. No, she flags down our server and orders herself a drink and immediately starts telling my friends these embarrassing stories about me as a kid. Like she pulls out her phone and starts showing them pictures of my awkward phase when I had braces and that terrible haircut in middle school. My friend Jake is being polite about it, but I can see he's uncomfortable, and she's getting louder with each story, you know. The tables around us are starting to look over. I tried to be nice about it at first. I told her maybe we could catch up later since this was just supposed to be a small thing with friends. But she immediately got defensive, started saying stuff about how she never gets to see me anymore and doesn't understand why I'm embarrassed of my own mother. And here's where I probably should have just, handled it better. But I've been dealing with this my whole life, and I guess I just snapped. I just couldn't deal with another public scene. I told her she needed to leave, that this was supposed to be my birthday dinner, and she wasn't invited. Oh my God, that just made everything so much worse. She stands up, and I mean stands up, like she's giving a speech, and starts talking even louder, so literally everyone in the restaurant is staring at us now. She's going on about how this is exactly why she doesn't bother anymore, and some children forget where they came from, and she sacrificed everything for this kid. The manager actually came over asking if everything was okay. I just wanted to hide. She grabbed her purse, all dramatic, and announced to the nearby tables that clearly she wasn't wanted here and stomped out. Just left me sitting there with my friends while everyone's staring and whispering. My friends tried to salvage the evening, but the damage was done, you know. The server even offered to comp our drinks for the trouble, which somehow made me feel even worse. We tried making jokes about it, but I couldn't shake feeling completely humiliated. I ended up cutting the night short and going home early. I keep going back and forth on this. Maybe I could have just let her stay and tried to redirect the conversation. She's been going through some stuff lately. She's been less involved in family things, and I think she feels left out since I bought my house last year. But also, why can't I have one night without family stuff? I'm almost 30 years old. Shouldn't I be able to have dinner with friends without my mom crashing it? I haven't heard from her since she stormed out. My sister texted asking what happened, but I honestly don't even know how to explain it. The whole thing just feels so messy, and I can't tell if I was being reasonable or if I was a terrible daughter. Am I the idiot for kicking my mom out of my birthday dinner? Edit 1. Since people are asking, no, my mom doesn't usually show up places uninvited like this. She's always been dramatic at family events, but this was next level even for her. And yes, I did pay for my own birthday dinner, obviously. The friends who were there have been really supportive, but I can tell they're kind of shocked by the whole thing. Edit 2. To those asking about the house thing, I bought it about a year ago with help from my grandmother's emergency fund that she keeps for family stuff. My mom was weird about it at the time, but I figured she was just being protective or whatever. Family dynamics are so complicated sometimes. Now for the first update. You were right about my mom not letting this go. I just found out there's supposedly been a family emergency for weeks that I knew nothing about, but now that I'm looking into it, nothing makes sense. So I woke up this morning to like 6 missed calls from my Aunt Carol, my mom's sister. When I saw all those missed calls, I immediately panicked and called her back. She picks up and immediately goes, "Oh, thank God. I was wondering why you weren't responding to your mom's texts about the hospital situation. I figured even after getting kicked out of the chat, you'd still be talking to her directly about Grandma." I'm like, what hospital situation? What chat? I pulled out my phone to check. When exactly had Mom texted me about any hospital situation? I scrolled through our messages, but the last thing from her was 3 days ago asking if I wanted to have coffee sometime. Nothing about Grandma. Nothing about hospitals. I kept thinking about how Mom never mentioned any family emergency at dinner last night. She was completely focused on feeling left out of my life. If Grandma was really in the hospital, why wouldn't that have been the first thing out of her mouth when she saw me? And my aunt gets this weird silence and then asks when I last actually talked to my grandmother, which honestly, fuck. I realized it's been like 3 weeks. Maybe more. I've been so busy with work and trying to keep distance from family stuff that I just didn't call. My aunt starts getting suspicious at this point and mentions she hasn't been able to reach my grandmother for several days either, which is weird because Grandma always answers her phone. Always. That's when I start digging through my phone, trying to find our family group chat. You know, the one where we coordinate visits and share updates about everyone's health stuff and whatever. I'm scrolling and it's just not there. Like it completely disappeared from my messages. So I call my sister Emma directly and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Where's the family chat? And she gets all quiet and finally admits I was temporarily removed from it about 3 weeks ago. Temporarily. Like that's supposed to make it better. I'm demanding to know why, and she's being super evasive, just saying it was Mom's decision after some misunderstanding and that there have been family meetings about Grandma's condition. By this point, I'm feeling like the worst granddaughter ever, because apparently my grandma has been in the hospital and I had no clue. I grab some flowers from the grocery store and drive straight to St. Mary's. That's where Grandma always goes for everything. I get to the front desk and ask for my grandmother's room number, give them her full name, her birth date, everything. The clerk searches the system like 3 times and then calls over a supervisor to double check. They both confirm there's no record of my grandmother being a patient there in the past month. Not just currently, at all. I'm standing in this hospital lobby holding flowers, feeling completely confused. So I call my mom immediately from the parking lot, demanding an explanation. Part of me wondered if she was still angry about last night, but if there was really a family emergency, she'd answer. Right. Straight to voicemail. I drive to my mom's house and her car is in the driveway, but nobody answers the door, even though I can see lights on inside. I know she's there, but she's just not answering. I couldn't tell if she was avoiding me because of our fight last night or because of whatever was going on with this supposed hospital situation. I don't know what to think right now. Like either my family is lying to me about Grandma being in the hospital, or there's some massive miscommunication happening that makes no sense. Why would they kick me out of the family chat right before a medical emergency? Why can't I reach my grandmother directly? Why is my mom avoiding me after making such a scene about wanting to see me more? I feel like I'm missing huge pieces of this story and everyone's acting weird about it. My sister keeps insisting everything will be sorted out soon, but won't give me any real details. My aunt seemed genuinely surprised that I didn't know about any hospital stuff, but then got all cagey when I started asking direct questions. Maybe I'm overthinking this because I'm still upset about the birthday thing, but I can't shake the feeling that something's not right here. Like, why would my whole family coordinate around a medical emergency without telling me, especially if they're supposedly upset that I don't stay in touch enough? I just want to know what's actually going on and why everyone's being so weird about it. Edit. Since people are asking, no, my grandmother doesn't have dementia or memory issues. She's 84, but still sharp as a tack and lives independently. She's had a few health scares over the years, but nothing serious enough for extended hospital stays. And yes, I checked with the other 2 hospitals in our area just in case. No record of her at either place. A few people mentioned I should check with her neighbors or try going to her house directly, which honestly, I should have thought of myself. I'm planning to drive over there tomorrow morning. Part of me is scared of what I'll find, though. What if she really is sick, and I've just been a terrible granddaughter who's been too caught up in my own stuff to notice? But then why lie about which hospital she's at? Now for the second update. You were all right about my mom not letting this go. I woke up this morning to find out my grandmother has been dead for 6 months, and my entire family has been lying to me about literally everything. I'm still shaking, honestly. I don't even know where to start with this, but I need to get it all out because I feel like I'm going insane. So I couldn't sleep last night after everything that happened yesterday with the hospital investigation, obviously. And I kept thinking about all the weird stuff my aunt said. Like, why couldn't anyone reach my grandmother? Why was I kicked out of the family chat right before this supposed hospital emergency? All that. I decided to call my mom again this morning at like 7 a.m. instead of driving to Grandma's house like I'd planned. I figured if Grandma was really in the hospital, she'd want to coordinate visits or whatever, and I could get answers faster over the phone. She actually answered this time, but the first thing she said wasn't hello or anything normal. She told me she saw the news and that they're pressing charges today. I asked her, what news and what charges? I thought we were talking about Grandma being in the hospital, and that's when everything just went to hell. My mom starts sobbing on the phone, like ugly crying. She started rambling about how sorry she was and that she never meant for it to go this far, and how she was going to tell me eventually, but then the bank investigators got involved and she panicked. I'm trying to get her to slow down and explain what the hell she's talking about, but she's barely making sense. Finally, I had to yell at her to tell me what was going on and where Grandma was, and she goes quiet for like 10 seconds. Then she whispers that Grandma died 6 months ago. I literally dropped my phone. Like it fell on the floor and I just stood there in my kitchen trying to process what she just said. 6 months ago. 6 months. While I've been thinking she's in the hospital, while my family's been having fake meetings about her condition, while I've been feeling guilty about not visiting enough, I picked up the phone and asked how she could not tell me and why she would lie about something like that. My mom just kept crying and saying she was too ashamed, that things got out of control, that she never meant for any of this to happen. Then she tells me the rest of it. She's been stealing money from my grandmother's accounts for over a year. Started small, but then her gambling debts got worse. I didn't even know she was gambling again, by the way, and she just kept taking more. The bank started investigating the missing money, and that's when she found out about the criminal charges being filed today. I mean, I honestly don't know how to process this. My grandmother is dead and has been dead for months, while my mom was pretending she was just sick and stealing her money. And I've been worried about visiting schedules while my grandma has been gone this whole time. The worst part, she says the gambling got really bad after Grandma mentioned changing her will to leave more to my aunt. So my mom figured she'd just take her share early from Grandma's accounts. Like that's somehow okay. I couldn't even finish the conversation. I hung up and immediately called my sister because I needed to know if she knew about any of this. Emma answered, already crying. Apparently, Mom had just called her too after getting off the phone with me. And get this, my sister has known everything for months. The death, the stealing, all of it. I asked how she could not tell me and how she could let me think Grandma was in the hospital when she's been dead for half a year. That's when Emma tells me Mom has been blackmailing her. Apparently, my sister has some massive student loan debt from a graduate program she failed out of but never told anyone about. She lied to her husband about having a master's degree, and Mom threatened to expose everything if Emma didn't go along with the lies. I asked her about the family chat thing, and she gets all quiet and finally admits I was temporarily removed from it about 3 weeks ago. Temporarily. Like that's supposed to make it better. Apparently, they'd been managing to keep up normal family chat conversations for months after Grandma died. But when the bank investigation got serious, Mom panicked and decided I needed to be completely cut off. All those family meetings I thought were about Grandma's care. They were mom meeting with criminal defense lawyers, trying to figure out how to handle the theft investigation. I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and then my Aunt Carol calls. She'd apparently seen something on the local news website about arrest warrants being issued. And oh my God, it gets worse. My aunt also knew about everything. She's also been blackmailed. Turns out she's been having an affair with our family doctor, the same one who was supposedly treating Grandma, and Mom found out. She explained that yesterday's phone call was her trying to keep up the cover story while also hoping I'd figure things out on my own. She was scared to tell me directly because of Mom's threats. The doctor has been writing fake prescription renewals and medical reports to help keep up the lie that Grandma was still alive and receiving treatment. My aunt tells me the most messed up part. Mom's whole birthday dinner scene wasn't just her being dramatic about feeling left out. It was her trying to push me away before the criminal charges became public and destroyed our family's reputation. She wanted me mad at her so I wouldn't be around when everything came out. I can't believe this. My entire family has been living in this mess of lies and blackmail for months. While I've been trying to set boundaries and have a normal adult relationship with them, they've been covering up a death and multiple crimes. And the worst part is I feel so stupid for not knowing. Like, how did I not realize my own grandmother was dead? How did I not pick up on any of this? I've been living my life normally while my family was falling apart, and I had no clue. I don't even know what happens next. Do I need a lawyer? Am I somehow involved in this? Because I used Grandma's emergency fund for my house down payment while Mom was stealing from her other accounts. What am I supposed to tell people when they ask about my family? I keep thinking about that birthday dinner and how weird Mom was acting. Like, now I understand why she seemed so desperate, but also, she chose to handle it by crashing my celebration and making a scene instead of just telling me the truth. Even when she was trying to push me away, she had to make it about her somehow. My phone has been ringing non-stop with calls from family members who've apparently seen the news. I'm not answering any of them right now because I honestly don't know what to say. Hi, yes, my mom stole from my dead grandmother and blackmailed half the family. How's your day going? I feel like my entire life has been turned upside down in the span of one morning. Everything I thought I knew about my family was apparently a lie, and I still haven't even properly grieved my grandmother because I'm too shocked and angry to process that she's actually gone. I don't know if I'm asking for advice or just venting, but how do you even handle something like this? How do you move forward when you find out your whole family is basically built on lies and criminal activity? Edit. Since so many are asking about the timeline, my grandmother actually died in early March. The last time I saw her was around Valentine's Day when she seemed fine, maybe a little tired, but nothing concerning. And yes, the money I used for my house was from a legitimate family emergency fund she'd set up years ago, completely separate from the accounts my mom was stealing from. To address the people asking if I'm going to the funeral, there apparently already was one, a small private service that I wasn't told about. My mom said they decided to keep it immediate family only, which I guess didn't include me for some reason. I don't even know where my grandmother is buried. I can't stop crying about that part. A lot of you are asking about pressing charges against my mom myself. I honestly don't know. She's still my mom even though I'm furious with her right now. But knowing she stole from my dying grandmother, I don't know how to forgive that, or the lying, or letting me miss the funeral. Everything feels impossible right now.